if you're following on in the book, we're in section 1.8. We're talking about on the voice coordinates. So in AutoCAD, we're going to be entering things in coordinates, and we have x, y, and r theta. What's missing is the z because we're doing planar drawings. So these are the same things we talked about in the Excel advanced math. And so how do we enter in coordinates? Well, x, y, z is a 3D Cartesian. So we basically define something based on where the origin is. It's located at 0, 0. And so how would we create a line? You can either click on the line icon, type L or line. Many commands in AutoCAD are just 1 or 2 characters, so you can quickly access those commands. And then you basically, if we wanted to draw this line here, we would start here at 2, 1, which is 2 in the x direction and 1 in the y direction. So we could physically type in 2, comma 1, and then that we would know exactly where we were. We didn't have to precisely position it using the mouse. And then we would type in 6, 3, which is this point here. And then when we're done with the line, we press enter, and we're good to go. So when we, instead of entering a new point, if you just enter one more time, it stops drawing your line. So this is using Cartesian or XY coordinates. Polar coordinates. Polar coordinates are basically, we have a magnitude and an angle, our theta, and so we can enter those in. We still have our origin at 0, 0. And then basically, it's a radial coordinate and angular coordinate. How do we measure angles? Typically, you'll use this frequently. 0 is located along the x-axis, and we're rotating which direction? Counterclockwise is increasing in magnitude. So this is 45, this is 90. Fortunately, we're using degrees rather than radians, because we can think in degrees, we can't think in radians. At least I can't think in radians. Maybe you're better at doing that. But if I say 2.7 radians, I'm not sure what that angle is, but 27 degrees, you know, it's probably around there. So we have degrees. You can also enter negative numbers. So this angle here is 315, or we can enter in minus 45. We like smaller numbers, so we can also enter negative. Negative means rotating clockwise. If you have a digital watch, then you have no idea which direction clockwise is. So if we wanted to draw this line here, our first point, the angle, this is what key in the keyboard? This is the less than. So the less than symbol means angle, and so this has a magnitude of 2.5, an angle of 60, which means from the origin, it's a distance 2.5 and an angle 60. It's not the angle of the line you're drawing, it's the angle from the origin. And then our next point is 7, angle 0. So this point here has a distance 7 at an angle 10, not 0, is what we're having here. So it's not the angle of the line and not the length of the line, it's the distance from the origin. These are absolute coordinates, is what we're doing. Now we can also use relative coordinates. That is, where do we want to go compared to where we are right now? If we use the ampersand or the @ symbol, just like in your email, it's relative to where you are right now. And so if we want to draw this line, or if we created our first point just by clicking to draw this line, it's, where is it? Well, it's 4 units to the right and 2 units up, and so if we type @ for 2, we go over 4 units and 2 units up. So that would be @ for 2. It's a relative to this point here. We're not sure where we clicked originally. If we wanted to do this, now this point here is 2, 1, and this is entered in what coordinates? This is Cartesian, so this is x and y. And then this is 5, angle 25, says that the length of our line is 25, the angle of the line is, length of the line is 5, angle of the line is 25 degrees. And at means it's a relative coordinates. So this is problem 1-1 in your book at the end of the chapter if you wanted to follow along. But we're going to be doing this in clicker format. But if you wanted the answer, this will not be turned in. But if you still want it for reference. So we want to draw this lovely L shape using our drawing. Did you find your clicker there, Caleb? If it's not there, we'll just register you someone else's. It's not someone else's. Another clicker so you can good to go. All right, so we want to draw our beautiful L shape. We're starting here, and so we click here. And now we want to draw this lovely blue line. How would we draw this lovely blue line? What would we type into AutoCAD to draw this line here? We know that it has a distance of 30, and it's going up. So these are your 5 different options of what you could type in AutoCAD for trying to draw this lovely blue line on the left. What would we type into AutoCAD?
You're not doing an angle right now?
We're not using angles. It's all Cartesian coordinates. We'll do angles in a little bit.
Could you repeat the question?
How do we draw this blue line right here? That's the question. And those are the possible answers. All right, we're rushing towards. All right, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. What are our options? So B is 0, 30. This is 0 in the x direction, 30 in the y direction. But that would be relative to the origin. So we want it relative to where we are, so we need the at symbol. So it's not these, because we have no idea where the origin is. And so we have to use at 0 in the x, 30 in the y direction. So the correct answer was D. Come on, you can make it. There we go. All right, so that was, why is it not going forward anymore? There we go. At 0, 30. Okay, what about this next line up top? What would we type in to draw this line? Why would you vote and then things work better? So we're drawing this top blue line right here. What would we type in? I'll stop at 35 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yes.
So when you're drawing this, would you have to have drawn the line before it to be at
Yeah.
that point? So you have to be in the process of
Drawing
drawing
a
multiple
line,
lines to do it.
So you'd first click here, and then you would type in at 0, 30, and you'd be here, and then you would type, what would we type? Well, it's either 40, 0 or 40, 30. So where is this point relative to this point?
40, 0.
It's 40 in the x and 0 in the y direction. 40, 30 would stick you up like that, and so the right answer here is C. So it's relative to where you just started this line. That's 40, 0. This would be 0 minus 20. What's this one going to be?
20, 0.
At 20, 0. What about the next one?
0, -10.
At 0, negative 10. And the bottom one?
At -60.
At negative 60, 0.